start my recording. It's too early. Okay, now I'm recording. All right. If you have not sent in your permission form, then you cannot stay here. So if you haven't sent in your permission form, I'm sending you back to your other class. Okay, so let's just go through the attendance first. And I will show you where the forms are. So you had to send them in electronically. Okay, I still have 15 minutes before showtime. Okay, so the forms look like this. I'm opening the forms. You should be able to see the forms now. So here's one copy. I got 29 responses on the purple version of the form. And I got, let's open the other one. On the red version of the form, I got, let's see this red version. So on the red version of the form, I got 18. So what did I say? 29 plus 18, 17. So that's 47, somewhere on both lines. So I'm still missing some forms, and I have to figure out who is not allowed to stay. I'm really sorry if you didn't get your parents to sign the form, but I can't allow you to stay. Okay. So I'm going to ask you now, back on the chat here. I'm going to open my chat line now. Okay, so the chat line is here. Okay, so Leanne, you're on the purple form. Yvette, you're on both. Julius, you're on the purple form. Okay, good. So let's just double check. And I did this morning with the cohort BC. Now I'm with cohort AB. Daniel, are you here, Daniel? Last call for Daniel. You're here. Daniel, is your form on the purple version or the red version? Put it in the chat line, Daniel. The purple. Okay, so I'll write that down. Kwamina, is your form, Kwamina, on the purple or the red form? Are you here, Kwamina? Kwamina is absent. Gian, are you here? Gian is absent. Jesse, are you here, Jesse?
Here, miss.
Are you on the purple or the red form?
On purple, miss.
Okay. Nathan, are you here, Nathan? Nathan is absent. Amelia.
Here.
Oh, I checked yours. I know you're. Are you on the purple or the red? Do you remember?
Purple, I think.
Okay. Julius, are you here, Julius?
I'm here.
Okay, are you on the purple or red?
I'm on purple.
Leanne.
Here, miss.
Are you on the purple or the red one?
Purple.
Purple. Anthony, is yours on the purple or the red? Anthony, are you here?
I think it's on the purple, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, let's check, because if it's not here, I have to kick you out, okay?
Could you please check?
So let's double check.
It should be there. It should be there.
Yeah, I believe you. There's no reason why it shouldn't be here. Okay, so let's just check here. All right, so I've got 29 on the purple. Let's see, and who am I looking for? I'm looking for Anthony Marini. These are not in alphabetical order, you guys. Yeah, you're here, Anthony. You're on the purple one.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so you're here. Yep, you're here. I've got it. Christian, are you here?
Yes, miss.
Okay, and where did you send your form? Is it the purple one or the red one?
Purple one, miss.
Okay, so let's take a look. I think I'm sharing my screen. I'm looking for your name on there. I'm looking for your name. Yes, you're there. Okay, so you're on the purple one. Purple, and then I've got Jonas. Are you here, Jonas?
Here, miss.
Okay, where are you? Which list are you on? The purple one or the red one?
The purple, miss.
The purple. Let's find you on here. I'm looking. There you are. Okay, yeah, you're on the purple one. Venusian, are you here? Venusian. Last call for Venusian. Is he on the chat line? Where's Venusian?
Yeah, I'm here.
Which form did you send in? The purple one or the red one?
Purple.
Purple. Okay, let's see if you're on here. Oh, I see it. Good. Okay, so you're on the purple one. Joseph Torres. Yes, I see you there, Joseph. Now, Joseph, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. You're on the purple form. Now I'm on to cohort B. Sally Home, I've never met. Sally Home, are you here? Okay, so I'm going to mark you absent. Yvette, are you here, Yvette? Is Yvette here?
I'm
yet?
here, miss.
Okay, and where did you send your form in? On the purple one or the red one? Oh, here it is on the purple. Okay.
Both. I was just gonna. Are we taking notes?
Always take notes. That's a good idea. I'll also record this. Lance.
Here,
So
miss.
when we ask David and Maracle
Red,
questions, we take.
Lance, are you in the purple or the red?
Purple, miss.
Purple. Okay, I'm just looking for it to make sure it's here. There it is. Okay. Purple.
Miss, when we
Tanea.
ask David and Maracle question,
Here.
Yes,
here,
let me
yes.
do this first.
Okay.
Tanea. Where's
Here.
Tanea? Are you purple or red?
Purple.
Purple. I'm looking for it on here. I want to make, there it is. Okay. Elijah. Elijah, are you here? Elijah? Elijah is absent.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Is your form on the purple or the red?
On the purple or the red? What do you mean?
Oh, I just found it. It's on the purple. Okay, so
Okay.
that's all right. And then, don't worry, you guys, I'm almost done. Asta, are you here, Asta? Last call for Asta. Asta is absent. Ryan, are you here, Ryan?
Here, miss.
Where's your form? Is it purple or red?
Purple, miss.
Purple. I'm looking for your name on here. Ryan. There you are. Okay. Purple. Most of them are on the purple one. Denise. Where are you, Denise? Are you here, Denise? Last call for Denise. Denise is absent? That's not like Denise. I'm surprised. David, are you here, David?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here.
And David, did you send it in? Is yours on the purple or the red? Let's find your name on here. Do I see it? I'm just, yeah, there it is. It's on the purple one. I'm glad you sent it in, David. Jasmine. Jasmine, are you here? Jasmine. Okay, I'm looking for Jasmine. Where's yours, Jasmine?
It's on purple.
Okay, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I do not see it there, Jasmine.
Past it.
Good. Past it. My shoulder is near my ear. Jasmine.
Again.
Okay, Jasmine, do you see it there? Because I don't. I see Venusian, Joseph,
Go back.
Anthony,
I see mine.
Yvette, Kwame, Denise, Jesse. Ah, there it is. You are right. I am wrong. EJ. EJ, are you? Okay, and is yours on here?
Yes, miss. It's right there.
EJ. This is very, oh, there it is. Okay, so it's on the purple one. Emil, are you here? Cameron, did you send in your form?
Yes.
Okay, I just saw it. Good. And finally, Nathaniel Wood. Are you here, Nathaniel Wood? Nathaniel Wood, last call. And where's your permission form?
Purple.
It's here. Okay, so your media release form is here. I'm looking for it. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to come back to the chat line now. Our show starts in 8 minutes. Woo-hoo! Okay.
Oh,
now
yeah,
I'm gonna
miss.
come to the chat line. Hold on. I'll get your questions in a second. So I'm looking in the chat line so we can all get our communication straight. So I want to make sure the absent people, because I have to send this in. Absent today are, please turn off your microphones. I'll turn off the music in a second, but I need you all to turn off your microphones. So absent today are, Kwame is absent. Kwamina, Daisy is absent.
Miss, I'm here.
Oh, you are. Did you send in your form?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's on the purple.
It's on the purple one?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put that here then. Gian is absent then. I will erase that. I'm sorry this takes so long, you guys, but it is a legal document. Okay, so Gian Louis Ferreira is absent. Now, can you guys see how I'm putting this into the chat line? Make sure you've got your chat line open because that's where you're going to put your questions. Yvette, I know you had a question. Can you write it into the chat line now for practice so we know how that's going to work? Because I'm about to turn off my microphone. Absent today are Gian is absent, Nathan Black is not here. Nathan Black is absent. Who else is absent? Jonas is absent.
Amir, miss.
Jonas.
Miss Amir.
Okay, you're here. Okay, good. Oh, you must have been away yesterday. Then I have from my notes. Okay. Ooh, it's a good thing I'm double checking. Sally Home. Sally Home Ascale is absent. Is that Elijah? Are you here, Elijah?
Yeah.
Asta is not here. Asta Nanda is absent. Denise, where's Denise? Denise Olimpo is absent. I'm really surprised. She's really good at this stuff. David, you're okay. Emil Tabor is absent. Emil Tabor. All right, so that's my attendance. I'll show you guys how I send it in. Ooh, we got showtime in 4 minutes. No, 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm copying that. I'm still presenting so that you guys know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to open my, it only works.
Miss David's a musician, right?
Put it in the chat line. Put it in the chat line. That's a good question. Yeah, and he'll be able to answer that for you. You know that I'm playing his CD in the background, right? I'm going to turn it off in a second, but we've listened to David Maracle's music before. Okay. So now you're going to see, yeah, it's very exciting. Okay, so now we're going to see, I know I'm sharing my screen, but I want to make sure that I do the attendance right because I have to turn this off and I don't want the school phoning me. Okay, so anybody who's not here, too bad. Ooh, they're telling us about final exams. All right, so this is what I do for your attendance. New message, opening a new message. Here's the list. These are the people who are absent.
Gypsy, you want to come?
Hey, somebody's microphone is on.
It's mine.
Oh, well, you're allowed to keep yours on. I promise to turn mine off, I promise. And we're going to do a welcome very soon. Okay, so now I have to make sure that our presenters today, not just David and Kim, we know that they're ready, but I can't do things. Absences, absent today. I have to send that to Elaine. I have to send it to Imelda. I have to send it to Patricia. Okay. All right, I'm turning off my email now. Make sure that that's been sent. Okay, my legal obligations are now done. I'm closing that. Good. I'm back to the meat here. Everybody's got that. So the people who are helping me with the welcome today, and we're starting in 3 minutes, I need to know that you're here. Anika, are you here?
Yes.
Good. Amira, are you here? Is Amira here? Did she put it in the chat? Has anybody seen Amira? No? John Michael, are you here?
I'm here, miss.
Oh, good. Ziv, are you here? Ziv is not here yet? Joshrin, are you here? Well, hopefully they'll tune in. Okay. Now I can stop doing a million things. I'm going to close all of the release forms. There, they're all closed. Okay, good. There we go. And we've got the project ready to go. Go to the top. So we're going to get Anika ready to go. We've got 2 minutes before we start. I want to make sure this is recording. Yes, it is recording. Okay. So Kimberly, I can see you there. I'm going to turn off my music here. Should we do a sound check and make sure we can hear you okay?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, we hear you very clearly. Now, is it better? I'm going to turn, okay. If I turn this off, okay. And now, how do we make your screen bigger? Let's see, I'm going to do a pin, I guess, right? If I do a pin, I'm going to pin your screen. Okay, so on my end, woo, you both look fabulous. Okay, so on my end, it's still 12:58, so we've got 2 minutes. Let's make sure everybody in my class understands their responsibilities. So we are now recording. We've got 1 minute before we start. And ladies and gentlemen, does everybody have their chat line open? Can everybody see their chat line? Is your chat line open?
Yeah.
Yes. Good. Okay. Wonderful. Oh, I love hearing your voices. Okay. So your chat line is open. Yvette, you had a question you wanted to ask David, and we are going to ask David and Kimberly questions at the end. Did you put your question in the chat line, Yvette?
I will right now.
Okay, do it right now so that this is a way you guys can ask questions without interrupting, because we don't want to interrupt. Okay, so I think it's almost 1 o'clock, and if the people who were supposed to help me with the welcome aren't here, then I will just read their parts, okay?
And Sally?
Yes.
I'm just wondering because for myself, I won't be able to be with you guys the whole time. I'm here for about 20 minutes to help facilitate everything.
Thank you so much.
So what I thought was instead, after we do our little opening, tiny little opening and our smudging, maybe we could go at, do you think we should do the questions first? Because it seems like everybody'd like to do that.
That's fine with me. You know what? You're going to be in charge, not me. I'm handing you the torch.
Do you think everybody back there would like that? If they would like to do their questions first? And then David could go in?
Yeah, they're all putting yes. I'm seeing yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So you might have all right. And that
we'll do a
way.
very short thing and then go right to the questions.
Beautiful. Okay. And then, okay. So now here we go. I'm just going to share my screen for the land acknowledgement and the welcome. Okay. So here we go. I'm sharing my screen. And this is all new to me, you guys. I'm doing what I can. All right. So we're going to start. I'm going to say, Ani, Sego, welcome. Hello. My name is Sally Height, and I am teaching the NBE 3C1 class. This is experiential project number 30. We're going to welcome David Maracle and Kimberly Maracle today. Before we do that, before we invite our special guest artists, I'm going to start with Anika. Anika, would you do the land acknowledgement for us, please? It's on the screen. Go ahead.
Out of our deep respect for our Indigenous heritage, we acknowledge that St. Joan of Arc Academy is situated upon traditional territories. These territories include the Wendat, the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Mississaugas of the New Credit, and the Métis Nation. We also recognize the enduring presence of Indigenous people on this land.
All right, we're now going to do an acknowledgement and a minute silence with Joshrin. Joshrin, we're going to do our minute of silence for the 215 children. Are you ready, Joshrin? Can you read to us? Joshrin, are you here? Okay, so I will read it then. Teach your children that the earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth, befalls the children of the earth. We're going to have a minute of silence. Teach your children that the earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth, befalls the children of the earth. Okay, and one more acknowledgement. We're going to take a minute of silence for the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Our student lead for this is John Michael. Are you there, John Michael?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead, John Michael.
We are part of the earth, and earth is part of us. The rivers are our brothers. They quench our thirst. The perfumed flowers are our sisters. We are part of the earth, and the earth is part of us.
The
Rivers
rivers
are
are
our
our
brothers.
brothers.
They quench our thirst. The perfumed flowers are our sisters.
sisters.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask Amira. We're going to do our welcome and introduction for David Maracle and his wife, Kimberly Maracle. Amira, would you read what's on the screen, please? Go ahead.
David R. Maracle has been given back to children in various communities, bringing us Indigenous teachings, culture, and art in the form of traditional knowledge workshops, medicine wheel teachings, Iroquois flute teachings, and also earth and earth teachings to many communities across Canada and recently in Lahore, Pakistan. He is a role model for youth in the arts and music industry and a humanitarian who stands for Indigenous people's rights and awareness in a kind and generous manner. Please let's all welcome our guest speakers today, David and Kimberly Maracle.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. So
Now, thank
Yeah, wait.
you.
okay, I'm going to turn off my microphone now.
Okay. So Sego, Sewakwego, Wasundeosa, Yungyat, a Dehaniaguederos, Yungyat. We just want to say how honored we are for Sally, all of the hard work and dedication that she's given to be teaching accurate Indigenous terminology and knowledge. We have been following along prior to this moment. So we want to just acknowledge Sally and all of her unbelievably hard work and what she is doing. You guys are so blessed to have such an amazing, incredible teacher who cares and has such a beautiful heart. So I want to just acknowledge that. So we are joining you here from the Tyendinaga Mohawk territory, or Gendege. And I held this little flag up because that is our Haudenosaunee flag. So we're just going to do a quick opening. And I don't think, David, you want to talk to them about the smudge?
Yeah, so the smudge we use, it's very important to know that Creator has allowed us to have some beautiful medicines that will help us touch the sky and touch the people that's gone on before us and travel with our prayers. We watch the smoke travel upwards to the spirit world. So we use cedar, sage, sweetgrass, and tobacco when we actually pray. And we put this to our eyes first, that our eyes are opened. Then we pull it to our ears, that we can hear. We hear the beauty and all the songbirds and all the animals and the waters, the way the wind flows. And when people are talking to us, we listen to those words. We pull it to our mind, getting ngura, that mind that watches over us and watches over everything we do and our steps that we take. We pull it to our mouth, that we speak good words, that we taste good medicine, that the medicine, when it goes into our mouth, It goes to the places it needs to when we need the help with the medicine. We pull it to our heart, that our hearts beat as one, that our hearts beat along with the earth and with our songs as we dance. We pull it to our feet, that the Creator guides our paths, and let our paths be chosen by our minds that allow us to travel in good places and meet good people. And we usually share these and we put it around. We usually light these. We smudge our food. We have spirit plates. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to be talking about lacrosse games, snow snake. So you guys will have to jar my memory if you want to hear these things. But before we do anything else, this is called the words before all else. And this is, they actually use this in our schools now instead of any other words, because this is more important to our people.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, David. Nyawa.
Yo.
So it's called the Ohandagari Wadekwa. So every morning our children hear this, but it's all in the language. But I'm going to actually share it to you guys with a little bit of the language, but in English as well. So today we have gathered, we see that the cycles of life continue. And we want to bring our minds together as one. Ngwatni Gura. So we always say, Dieti no harado ne songwayati sa unwa when he's around. We say, Atonio duha neon guatni gura.
Yo.
And that means we bring our minds together. So we say, we are thankful for Mother Earth, the earth that we call her Yetini Staha Ohunja. So Mother Earth, the earth who gives all of us what we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk upon her, and she gives us joy. She continues to care for us, and she has been from the beginning. Antonio Duhak Neon Guatni Gora. And you all can say to together when David says that.
To or yo.
Yo or to, yep. So then to the waters, we want to give thanks. Nyawagoa, Neo Negonus, to the waters. We give thanks to the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. Water is life. We would not be here without it. It is the lifeblood of Mother Earth. We know its powers and we are thankful. Antonio Duhak, Neongwatni Gura.
Yo.
This is a shortened version, by the way. It's a very long Thanksgiving address, but we're just going to shorten it because we don't have a lot of time with you
today. It could take up half of our time.
Yeah. So the next thing we want to acknowledge is the fish, and that is Gajion Suan. We turn our minds to all of the fish life in the water. We were instructed to cleanse and purify the water, and they also give themselves to us as food. So we are grateful and that we can still find pure water. And we now turn to the fish and send our greetings. Antonio Duhagneongwatni Gora.
Yo.
To the plants. Now we turn to the plants, the fields, the plant life, as far as the eyes can see, working so many wonders. With our minds gathered as one, Antonio Duhagneongwatni Gora, we give thanks to the plant life. To the food plants. With one mind, we turn our honor and thanks to the food plants for the harvest, for the garden, the grains, the vegetables, the beans, the berries, many other living things draw strength from them too. Antonio Duhak Neongwani Gura.
Yo.
To the medicine herbs. Now we turn to the medicine herbs of the world. From the beginning, they were instructed to take away sickness. They are always waiting and ready to heal us. So we are very happy, Wagatsanuni, to be able to say special thanks. And with one mind, we gather ourselves and give thanks to the medicines and to the keeper of the medicines. Antonio Duhak Ningwatnikura. Oh, to the animals, Gandirio. We want to gather our minds together and send greetings to all of animal life in the world. They have many things to teach us as people, and we see them near our homes and deep in the forests, and we are so thankful that they are still here, and here they always give us sustenance to continue. Antonio Duhak Neongwatnigora Gondirio. To the trees. Now, Owira Su'a. We now turn our thoughts to the trees. The earth has many families of trees who have their own instructions and uses. Some provide us with shelter, shade, fruit, beauty, and many useful things. So many people of the world still use the tree as a symbol of peace and strength, as well as the tree of peace in the middle. Antonio Duhok, Neongwa Nigora.
Yo.
So, Oji de Guon, the birds. We put our minds together as one and thank all of the birds who move and fly above us, above our heads. Each day they remind us to enjoy and appreciate life. The eagle, Ogwix, was chosen to be their leader. And so to all of the birds and Ogwix, the smallest to the largest, we send our greetings and thanks. Nyawagoa, Oji de Guan, Antonio Duhok, Neongwa Nigura. To the four winds, we are thankful to the powers that we know, the four winds. We hear their voices and move their air in the mornings that we are able to breathe. They help to bring in the changes of the seasons, the four directions that they come from, bringing us messages and giving us strength. Antonio Duhok, Neongwa Nigura. Oh. To the thunders, Ruddy Wiras. We say, Nyawagoa, we turn to the west, where our grandfathers, the thunder beings, live. With the lightning and the thunder voices, they bring with them the water, Neganus, that renews our lives. We bring our minds together, Antonio Duhak, Neongwa Nigura, and give thank yous, Nyawagoa, to the grandfathers and the thunders. Antonio Duhak, Neongwa Nigura, Ruddy Wiras. To the sun. I'm gonna say Gyonge Negaha Garikwa. Very big word. The sun. We give greetings and thanks to our eldest brother, the sun. Each day, without fail, he travels the sky from east to west, bringing the light of a new day. He is the source of all the fires, Ojira, of life. With one mind, Antonio Duhok, Neongwatni Gora, Nyawa. Grandmother Moon. Asuta Taneka Garakwa. Nyawagoa, we give our minds together and give thanks to our oldest grandmother, the moon, who lights the nighttime sky. She is the leader of women all over the world, and she governs the movement of ocean tides. Her changing faces, we measure time, and it is the moon who watches over the arrival of our children on this planet, Mother Earth. With one mind, Ongwatni Gora, Antonio Duhag, Neongwatni Gora. To the stars, Ojisto. We give thanks. Now we'll go to the stars who are spread across the sky like jewelry. We see them in the night, helping the moon to light the darkness and bringing the dew gardens and growing things. Then when they travel at night, they guide us home. So Antonio Duhak, Neongwatni Gura, Ojistos. The enlightened teachers. We gather our minds to greet and thank the enlightened teachers who have come to help throughout the ages. When we forget how to live in harmony, they remind us the way we are instructed to live with our people. Now, Antonio Duhak, Neongwatni Gura. And finally, Songwayatiso, Augustus Stasarakoa Sa Oyira, the creator of all things natural. Now we turn to the creator, the great spirit, sending greetings and thanks, Nyawagoa, for all of the gifts of creation. Everything we need to live a good life is here on Mother Earth. For all of the love that is still around us, we gather our minds. Angwatni Gura, Antonio Duhak, Neongwatni Gura, our choicest words of greetings and thanks to the creator, Sangwayatiso. Now our minds are at one. Antonio Duhak, Neongwatni Gura. Yo. So with that, we have opened with a one mind. We can now move forward together as a group. And again, I want to just say how incredibly honored that we are to be here. Your teacher has touched on so many amazing pieces of knowledge. If every teacher was like her, we as Indigenous people would be so blessed.
Absolutely. With
missing and murdered Indigenous women, with the residential school residue, with what has happened just recently in the news of the 215 apparent bodies of these children, that we acknowledge them. because there are more across this whole country we call Turtle Island. But before we get into all of that, now that we've acknowledged them, David, I know I can only stay for a little longer, and I want to be able to maybe help out with some questions. So let's maybe work with those questions first, and then David's got so much to show you. He's got music, he's got sculpture. What else? You've got murals to show them and talking about symbols.
I have Indigenous sports to talk about and show you, which is going to very much excite you. And maybe later on in the throughout the year and maybe into the winter months, we'll stay in touch and I'll teach you some other things.
So I'm going to take the feather and I'll just ask for, I see the chats. So is this the first one? Like, how do I read the questions? Because I can't.
Okay, so I put my microphone on again. So when did I put it in? It's all time stamped. So I put in at 1:19, I said, who has a question? But before that, Jesse put one in before me. So start at 1:19. Jesse.
So let's go with Jesse.
Yeah, go ahead, Jesse, ask your question.
I'm gonna hold my eagle feather because that means that what we do is we give respect to the person who's asking the question. And then David will answer and I can help. Go ahead, Jesse.
I wonder if it's okay to ask, are you in the pod gallery right now?
No, we're not in the Eagle Pod Gallery yet.
Oh,
We decided we would start off in our home. So
okay.
we're actually, this is how we live. We are surrounded by all of our beautiful Indigenous art and instruments and regalia. So we are actually not in the pod yet.
Sorry.
That's going to be at the end.
Once I pick up my phone, I'm going to take you on a magical little mystery tour.
Yeah, that'll be at closer to the end. So then what would be the next question?
So Jesse, who's after you? You can call her. Go ahead, Jesse.
Leanne.
Leanne?
Yeah.
Hi, Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
Hi, how are you?
Very
Okay,
good.
mine is, what was his journey like growing up being in the Mohawk and Haudenosaunee community?
It was a lot of fun. It had its ups and downs. A lot of ups, especially being able to sit and listen to a lot of the legends and the stories. In our culture, it's always fun being fun and having fun. We're always laughing. We're always looking at the simplicities of life to get us through and to enjoy, because that's what Creator intended for us, was to live simply with the earth, respect her, and she'll respect us as we go through and do the proper things.
I think too, David mentioned that he got to listen to a lot of elders on the powwow trail, and his father was an international lecturer. So he grew up with like an amazing role model himself, him and his mom. But his father was actually originally from Six Nations, and he did attend the mush hole in Six Nations, and he escaped. And David absolutely adored his father and had all of the teachings that his father gave to him. So I think I won't. What would be the next question?
What is Yvette?
My question is, what's it like being a musician?
Hi, Yvette.
Hi, Yvette.
Hi.
It's a lot of fun because, excuse me, we can tell a lot of stories through our music. I can do a lot of backgrounds and watch other people actually dance to the music, do choreography, documentaries, movies. So yeah, it's fun because, again, it's fun having fun, and creating music is just a pleasure for me because I can pick up instruments and we can actually talk to people around the world. We don't have to speak their language, but when we speak music, we all get that. So then we get to know each other through the music. So that's kind of why. And I have how many albums right up
Well, so his career spans of at least 20 some odd years, just the music side of things. And I've been able to witness that and help guide that. And I think he's got about 21 compilations that have been released throughout the globe. And he's got a beautiful album entitled Spirit Flutes, and that went gold, and then another gold in the USA and in Canada. So he's actually a registered recording artist. So
And when I pick up my phone, I'll show you. I have all my albums on display on the wall and the gold records as well.
He's also got his music. He launched APTN, the channel, with all of his music. He's been sequestered numerous occasions for documentaries on APTN, and I think Relic Tracker, or Relic Hunter, a few little things on TV that his music has been featured on. So it's been really exciting. He played at the Australian Olympics in 2000. He played to the Queen of England on her Jubilee, and you've traveled to Pakistan, Holland, Austria, to name a few.
All the Caribbean islands.
Yeah.
Played with Tim Rice in the Bahamas and
The Phantom of the Opera.
With the Phantom of the Opera, and actually, it wasn't with the Phantom of the Opera. It was the guy that actually made the Phantom of the Opera.
And he's got about 40 different instruments down in the basement. So I'm constantly moving them around in our house. And he plays so many of them, and he's self-taught. So next question. Thank you, Yvette.
Thanks, Yvette.
You're welcome. Next person is Imran.
Emran?
So how
Hi,
good
Emran.
did it feel?
Say go.
Hello. So how good did it feel when you made accomplishments in life?
It's always good when you can accomplish goals and have your dreams come true. It feels good for yourself. It uplifts yourself. And when people see that you're doing well with the career choices you make, they always want to talk to you and know how they can do the same. So it's a great tool to use, and it's a simple life that I chose. That it just, things come natural when you give thanks to the Creator. In that natural world, things just seem to work for you that way.
But he also failed. He failed music and art.
I failed
in
the
school. The teachers were not that supportive of David back then, because you got to remember he's coming from an Indigenous community, and they were quite hard. And so David went out and showed them something different.
I had to feel that Indigenous people have to try a little harder than the next to beat the system and to actually make things of their life, because it's a little harder for us on the territory. I had the same school teachers my father had, so that kind of set us back a little bit when, my dad was 83 when he passed, and I had the same school teachers my father, so.
Thank you for your question, Imran.
Yes.
Yeah,
Who's
you're welcome.
next?
Let's see, Elijah.
Hi, Elijah.
Hi, Elijah.
Hi. Do you feel like your music impacted Indigenous people, and if you think it did, then how do you think that it impacted people?
I think I know it has impacted a lot of people, because we get a lot of calls and people just ask if they can come and sit, or they actually buy a lot of tickets to come to the show, because when they sit, it's a meditational type of music that allows people to think and to go into themselves and to realize, the beauty, because I add a lot of the outdoor elements like the animals and the wind and the natural things. And I actually record a lot of the waterways and the wind and different things, thunder, rolling thunderstorms. So I add that all in there to show how I respect that and how it's music to our ears, just hearing those beautiful things along with the birds and the wolves howling and
his
bears.
Music has actually, I got a lot of the emails from over the years that a lot of people were using David's music to help with stress, people who are sick and passing away with cancer. And they actually listened to David's music on headphones while they passed away. And that they were also saying that a lot of his music is recorded in a 528 hertz. So if you look that up, it's actually a hertz reading. A love frequency. And all of his instruments are actually tuned to that frequency, and it is known to heal your heart. Very good question.
So I can basically put myself to sleep when I play my own music.
So next question, who's next? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elijah.
No problem.
Who's next?
Messy.
Hi, Missy.
Hi. My question is, what are your thoughts on your music career so far, like in general, on like your success that you guys had?
Well, I think it's so far it feels pretty good because I was just asked to do the opening and the closing for the Juno Awards. So that's kind of an accomplishment when you're recognized by these big agencies and the Indigenous Music Awards. I've won many awards there, and my brothers and sisters that actually play. It just feels good to be a part of that with the stories and the legends all being intertwined with the music. So
he's also won a few awards himself for the Canadian, they called it back then, Canadian Aboriginal Music Awards, and also the Aboriginal People's Choice Music Awards. So he's won quite a few for different albums. And he also used to play in the orchestra for the events for every single music award show that was that commenced. I don't think that they've done it for quite some time now, but it's been wonderful.
And it was so important to people to have the music there. I was asked to play it for the Senate right in the Parliament building before their meetings, so it would calm the room. My music is also, I just wanted to tell you that the archaeologists took my music into deep pits before they'd go down and look into these holes. So they asked, they said, can we use your music to calm the spirits within these huge pits?
Before you start digging.
Before they started to dig artifacts and stuff. And I said, absolutely. So that was in, I think, National Geographic.
Thank you so much
for
your question, Massey. Who's next?
Tanea.
Hi, Tanea.
Hi, Tanea.
Hi. My question is, what made you start your musical career?
I guess tapping on things and just enjoying the sound of whatever I was doing, and I just going to powwows and just listening. As I was a little boy, I used to travel with my father throughout the community, and to keep our music alive and our language alive, the elders would have sings every Wednesday night, and I'd go with my dad, and we'd sit there and the women would cook up nice meals and people would bring potlucks and we'd all sing Mohawk songs.
Tell them about your flute.
And
I think that's what spurred you
on.
the
flute. So I went on a trip to Oklahoma on an art trip. And when I got to Oklahoma, it was a huge art festival, and there was all these flute players and they were playing flutes. It just seemed like every other booth that was set up there showing their arts and wares had flutes. And this is a great story. So as this one guy, I was walking by, he was playing this flute, and when he was done, I said, oh my gosh, I said, can I try your system there? Because I had just bought a flute, and on my way to Oklahoma, I was this way, I was driving, and I don't recommend you guys do this, but I was driving and like this, and I was playing the whole way for like 3 days. And I learned how to play the flute because I had nothing better to do than play the flute on this long drive. So when I get down there and I'm like, man, everybody, it just seemed like the flute capital of the universe. Everybody had a flute. So when I walked by this booth and this guy was playing into a little speaker and he had it amplified and he had a little bit of echo on there and reverb, I said, do you mind if I just try that out once? He says, no, go ahead, knock yourself out, dude. You know, and I'm like, all right. So I walk up behind his microphone. I started to play this little tune. And man, it just made things a little bit crispier, and I didn't have to blow as hard. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So as I finished playing a little riff on the flute, the media came by and they said, do you mind if we do an interview with you, sir? And I said, do you mind? He said, no, go ahead, do an interview. Well, I said, number one, this is not my booth. This is this gentleman's here. He said, just keep going. I said, anyway, I came from Canada. And I said, I said, I just enjoy playing the flute. And they asked me, so how long have you been playing the flute? And I didn't want to say 3 days because the guy's sitting there. I didn't want to make him feel bad. And I said, oh, just for some short time now, you know, and they all kind of, my brother was with me and he laughed at me and he's like, wow, that's crazy. So anyway, that changed my life.
So what I want to say is I have to actually depart. And I am going to miss this amazing thing, but you guys are recording this, so maybe I'll get to watch it. So what I thought I could do on my way out is I could assist David with a song.
Oh.
A quick song before I have to go. Would everybody like that?
Yes.
So I'm going to just put David's Gastoa on. This is David's traditional headdress. It's called a Gastoa. I'm sure you guys know there's different headdresses. You've seen a Sioux war bonnet, but this is a Mohawk dress. And it has the 3 feathers that represent him being a Mohawk. Turn your head there. And can you turn just a little bit more? So then in the back, there's this beautiful horse tail. So it's representing the horse spirit. And then you've also got this. This is for the missing and murdered Indigenous women. There's shells. There's quahog shells. And in behind here, I don't know if you can see this, bend back bit. There's a little tiny mask called a hadui. That is our traditional medicine for our longhouse that watches over David when he's wearing his headdress. So quickly, our song that we're going to perform today, David, do you want to do, we'll do Lifeblood of Mother Earth. Well, wait, I want you to play the buffalo flute to let you hear that one.
So this flute I actually purchased where I first started playing on a microphone. And yeah, it sounds beautiful. It's a very haunting flute.
Well, when he recorded it, when we got back in from the studio, there was a second flute sound. And the recording engineer said he doesn't know where it was coming from. But play that. There's like a special note that comes alive.
There's a reason for that. The reason why a second sound came in is because I went down to a Sundance ceremony in South Dakota, and I was standing on a grave right where this lady, Emily, her many horses, died, and it was
at Wounded Knee.
At Wounded Knee, it was back when the cavalry came in and slaughtered a lot of the innocent people there, and so I wanted to make my trek to South Dakota, and I wanted to pay my respects. And so I wrote a song for this woman, Emily, her many horses. So when I got back to the studio and I was recording, this beautiful second flute came in, and the guy recording my album for me, he said, David, he said, for the life of me, I can't find this track where the second flute is in there. I've looked and searched. I said, just leave it there. It's meant to be there. Mm-hmm. So when you listen to that, you'll hear the other haunting flute in there, and that's not me. That's a spirit.
Well, let them hear how it goes, and then I'll start with you.
Thank you.
That's Lifeblood of Mother Earth, which means water, the lifeblood. That's a really special, very, very special water song. When the women water walkers were coming by, we shared that song with them. David just smudged and went into the studio, and that came out. I said, are you not even gonna like pick up your flute and maybe practice before we go into the studio? It's like like thousands of dollars to go. And he's like, no, I'm gonna smudge and then I'm gonna go in, and what happens is gonna happen. And it's meant to be. So that album won quite a few awards, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. A lot of his music, thank you.
Beautiful.
A lot of the music is used to just close your eyes and go on a journey and really listen. It's very like, even for me to play it, I have goosebumps. So with that, I bid you all Onagiwahe, which means just see you soon, not goodbye.
Well, thank you, Kimberly. I'm really, really, really looking forward to meeting you in person.
I already told you that you'll have to come down and stay a couple of nights at our cabin.
I am thrilled.
So, and then maybe someday you guys can all come down as a class and do a day program.
Wouldn't that be
with
great?
us. Yeah,
Okay.
when all this stuff gets all under control.
Wonderful. Thank you. Have a great day.
Sorry?
Have a great day, and thank you
guys
again.
as well, and I present to you De Haneni Agueros, Bear Clan, Cutter of Stone, David R. Maracle.
Wow, there we go. So should we continue with the questions, or do you want to, what would you like to do next? How many more questions are there? Oh, there's so many more questions.
I have, just so you guys, you might want to ask some questions after, and because I mean, I can answer a lot of questions about music, but I have a lot of things to share with you guys that's pretty exciting. And I have some water drums here to talk about. I have the lacrosse game. I have Snow Snake. So you guys let me know. I have music I can play for you live. I can show you a hang drum that came from the mountains of Switzerland and how I received that drum. There's many things to talk about. So you want to maybe ask me some questions after I could tell you some legends. I could tell you how the birds got their song. I could tell you about what the meaning of an eagle feather is. So you guys can ask me some things that you want to know. And I'll be more than happy.
The next question is with Ziv, and he has questions about your stone sculpture. So why don't we go to his question next?
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, Ziv.
Hi. I just want to say that I adore your sculptures. As an aspiring artist, I would love to take you as an inspiration. I so much adore your hard work and your sculptures, and I would love to know how like the process of learning it, how it became like that, and to master sculptures.
Well, thank you for loving my work. It's always nice to have admirers of our culture through our arts. And I was gifted a stone one day by somebody, and they said, "Hey, maybe you should try making something out of this stone." And I'm like, it's a stone. What am I going to do with a stone? But somebody else said, you can buy tools to carve a stone. So I started looking for different things. And before you know it, I started filing on this stone, and I started putting a little bit of time and elbow grease into it. And then my dad asked me one day, my dad was an international lecturer, and he spoke 6 native languages fluent. And my dad said, "Would you like to go with me on one of my engagements and bring your piece that you just created on the road with me?" And I said, "Sure, I'd love to." I'd love to go on the road and bring my piece. He said, maybe you can sell it and make a little bit of money, you know? And I said, sure, let's do this. So off we go. And I set it on the table and I sat there as a youngster, and people walked by, and it was basically patting me on the head and saying, good, nice piece, Sonny, you know? And I'm like, oh my God, I was hoping for a little bit better than that. So, you know, with that, and then other people would stop and they would say, wow, that's quite beautiful. What's the meaning behind it? So all this started to happen earlier on. 1985 is when I started to carve. And my dad looked at me and he says, you know what, David? He said, maybe, he said, you should try putting a name on it, putting your autograph on it, and bring it back, and you can come with me to the next show. So I went, and it raised a few more eyebrows because I had a really cool name added to this piece. And oh, thank you guys for, I'm just reading your messages. David, you're gonna have lots of questions. Okay, so when I went back to the next show, I put a little description by it. I put a rabbit fur, I put a pedestal underneath it, and somebody came and they offered me some money for it. And I said, you want to buy this piece? And they said, absolutely. Could you tell us a little bit more about it? So it was a little cave when I carved a little snake with a little guy sitting in there in the cave. And they paid me $300 for it. That changed my life, you know. And I thought, wow, I can put all of our culture into these rocks and just tell the story. So the more I sat with the elders, the more they filled me with all this beautiful stories about the land and the medicine and different things. And the more I started digging deep into my stone to put it in there. And I would look at the stone and let the stone dictate to me what it wanted to be, and I would go with it. So I studied all the shapes and sizes and colors and used it to my advantage.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you for that.
Can we go look at one of your stone carvings?
Absolutely.
Is there a good time? Maybe that's a good way to start.
Okay, I'll take my phone right now and I will turn the camera around and we'll go out to my gallery.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, my wife said I could lose some Wi-Fi, so hopefully let's keep our fingers crossed.
Okay, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Kim was just telling me we were supposed to do that at the end, but
oh, okay. Well, then you know what? You're in charge, not me. Should we just keep going with the questions? There's quite a few more.
Just in case the Wi-Fi, because we live on the territory here and it's very choppy here. So
okay. So Ziv, who's after you in the chat line? Go ahead.
Leon.
Hi, Leon.
All right. Due to COVID-19, did you face any struggles that impacted your life as an artist?
Can you repeat that?
Due to COVID-19, did you face any struggles that impacted your life as an artist?
Actually, COVID-19 has worked in my benefit to benefit what I want to do with my life right now. It slowed my music career down. I wasn't able to travel, but I'm able now to spend more time beautifying my grounds, making my sculptures, listening to the stories, and spending more time in my carving studio. So I chose 3 different things in my life: to be a cook, to be a musician, and to be an artist. So if one of them failed along the way somewhere, I always had something else to fall back on.
All right, thank you. Next one is John Michael.
Thank you. Oh. Hello?
Okay, John Michael's not answering.
I'm
okay,
here. Sorry. Hi. Whether it may be your sculpting career or your art or your music career, what's it like being an artist supporting your native culture?
It's very gratifying to see how it changes people's lives when you can share with them things that have changed your life and you can watch it get into their soul. And I absolutely would be lost without my culture. And I admire people that are of different colors and races that really sit with their elders and they learn the beauty of their culture, because that's your foundation to build on in life. And that gives you that stability to go forward, because it's always about who you need to be in this world to make yourself happy, to be you. You know, let the food be your medicine. Let things that teach you and feed you be a medicine to you that you appreciate as you walk the road, the path. And we can discuss that path too. I'm going to tell you about this eagle feather shortly.
Thanks. That was a really good answer. Also, I'd like to say I really love how you play the flute, since I have played the flute myself
Awesome.
for 3 years. Yeah. Next question is from Anthony.
Hey, Anthony.
Oh, shit. Wait, is it my turn?
Go ahead, Anthony.
Oh, okay. The question that I have is like, when you make your music, where does your inspiration come from? Like, where do you find like the drive to make your music consistently?
Actually, my inspiration comes from I just play around with the things, and I get these melodies in my head, and it's pretty easy once you pick up an instrument and just start strumming it or blowing into the flutes or whatever. It just comes, and usually a song, and we usually pray before we do these things. Before I even carve or play music, I kind of pray and I smudge and I ask the Creator to help me out through the day, and to give me music, and hopefully that our prayers get answered, and when we pick up these instruments and just play them. I try to mimic things outside and work with the wind and stuff, and let that dictate where it can go. Because I used to be into rock and roll pretty heavy, and I used to be a rock and roll singer, and I used to play the drums and everything. But I found when I chose these indigenous instruments and these spiritual instruments, it really helped me with the ability to not just communicate with people in a spiritual way, but it opened the doors for me to travel around the world, because I play unique things that people don't ordinarily hear all the time. Like, you can go places and hear jazz and blues and rock and roll and drums and guitars, but I tried to pick something in my life that was going to be have filled full of love and compassion and fun and honoring different things in the world in my walk. I hope that answered your question.
Oh yeah, it did. Thank you very much.
Cool, man. You're welcome. Yo.
All right, wait. The next person. Wait, I think. All right.
He goes by Daniel. Let's go with Daniel. Yeah.
Daniel?
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel. I can't hear Daniel.
Oh, I'm not sure if his microphone works. I'm going to read it out for him.
Okay.
Daniel's question is, what was your reaction to the 215 children found in Kamloops? Wow, what a question.
Devastated. Absolutely devastating to hear this news, but we already know of these things, and this is something that's been ailing our people and hurting our people for a long time, because we're of the oral tradition, and we didn't have reading and writing. We went through symbols and different things, and in my carvings you'll see the sadness, and people always say, why do you carve so many sad faces and stuff? I said, well, there's been a lot of things that's happened to Indigenous people in this country where when we're not together and enjoying each other's company, when we're alone, we're sad, because we think of all the atrocities and all the things that's been taken away from the lands and the hunting and fishing rights and all these things, the language. So when I heard about that, it just seemed to fit the bill that they're going to be finding these things all over, because they want to take the best part of everything in this country. They had to get rid of the Native people, which is unfortunate. And they had to get rid of their culture and their language, because once you don't have a culture and a language, then you're done. There's no sense you even talking about it anymore. So our language is coming back, our culture is coming back. So this makes us very sad, and so it makes us angry at the same time to know that Canada has these dirty little secrets, and that through compassion and unconditional love, I think we can all move forward with these things, and hopefully the new generations coming up will grab the bull by the horns and say, you know, we got to have this truth and reconciliation the forefront of Canada before we can move on as a nation and be proud and survive and wave the flags and everything. We gotta know the background and the history for real, you know. And we have shoes, and we have our shirts hanging on our territory, and we have all these things honoring those children. And I actually get called on to do traveling songs and to actually help with the spirit when they do their transition into the spirit world. And none of these children had that opportunity to go to bed and have a cookie and milk brought to them, or a story told to them, or loving arms put around them. It was school, it was do this, it was do that, it was don't do that, they're cutting their hair off. So all these certain things that was brought onto our people, horrible. It was horrific, and you're going to see a lot of things coming out in my artwork soon that's going to touch base on these topics. I hope that answered your question, and thank you for that question.
Thank you. Jesse, go ahead, Jesse, with your question.
Hey, Jesse.
Hello. I know this is off topic, but do you play the creators game?
I absolutely do. I used to. I'm getting old now. I'm just pushing 60 now, so I have to be careful. These bones could break, but I could still get out there and rough them up.
Okay, Ziv, go ahead, Ziv.
Who was that?
Me, Ziv.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, hi. Sorry. Is there anything we can do more to support the Indigenous people in Canada, also across the continent? Because a lot of Indigenous people across the American continent are also suffering, from Canada to Chile. So is there anything we can do more as a young people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you see these things, this is a great opportunity and a great foundation to build on, because now you can start asking questions to the government that they didn't want to answer. And you can ask for this inquiry that the Indigenous people want, to actually look for more, because I think there's a lot of spiritual people that want to give the children that rightful burial and that dignity that they deserve. And I think that people like yourselves can write into the government. And I think young people have that power right now, because they're going to be our next leaders. And I was always taught, you know, we have to walk that fine line as when we get older, because you have to choose your elders in your life and those people you want to follow as spiritual guiders to you. Because, you know, you're going to take and teach and educate yourself, and you're going to uplift yourself to be able to do the right thing and make those changes in this country. You know, and when you fly home and you go back to your other countries, you know, to visit your people and your ancestral heritage, you're going to be filled with that beauty to know where you came from. So when you can take what you know and what you've just learned about these kids, I think you should back the Indigenous people that want this to happen and say, yes, we as a young people would rather see them have their dignity put back to them. So, you know, if there's petitions out there, sign them, you know, and get your parents to back that, because it's important, you know, because we're all going to have these kids, and we all want to, you know, to have the same things that everybody else has, you know, that beauty of growing up and having parents to love you and to cuddle you and to go fishing with you, to go to Dairy Queen, all these things. So these kids never had that. Chii-Miigwetch, poor little guy, you know, good example right there.
Yeah, it's very sad. Thank
Absolutely.
you for that, sir. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Okay, yes. So how about we're going to take 3 more questions?
Okay.
And then we'll take a little break, like a
Okay.
10-minute break, and that'll give you a chance to move to your next location. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to skip over a couple of questions, but I'm going to go to Anika next. Anika, can you ask your question? And Anika has self-identified as Anishinaabe.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And she has an interesting question. Go ahead, Anika.
I said, what was it like to be able to go to Pakistan and teach them about your heritage, especially with the cultural differences between them and yourself?
Wow, I'm glad you asked that. This is a long one. If you guys want to hear it, it's very beautiful. Do you want to hear this? My
Yes,
long
please.
version or short version?
Long version.
Yeah.
We all want to hear it.
Okay, good. Okay. So when I was asked to go to Pakistan, what an honor. I gathered up a lot of instruments. I had like 4 large suitcases and things on wheels, and I boarded the plane, and I'm flying over, and I witnessed a lot of cool things on the plane when they were called to prayer on the plane, and I see the pilots and everybody praying on the plane. It's like, whoo, who's flying the plane, you know? But I didn't ask any of the questions. I mean, they've been doing it for hundreds of years, so whatever they were doing, I was good with it. You know, I'm going over to share my culture. They're sharing theirs with me. I get to the airport. I'm surrounded. I'm the only light-skinned person there. Everybody was so dark and you know, and wearing different clothes than me. And when I get off the plane, I couldn't get to my luggage because it was on the other side of the fence, the razor wire and stuff. So I'm in the lineup, and I'm getting a little nervous as I'm getting close to the I guess the immigration officer and the lawmakers. And he said, where are you coming from, and what's your business here? And he was asking me all these questions, and I'm like, well, I'm Ongwehue. I from North America. I'm here to do music and culture. Where are you going? I said, I know I'm going to Lahore. I said, but my paperwork I left in my bag. I'm asking you a question. Where are you going? And I'm like, sir, I said, my paperwork is in the bag, and I need to get my bag. And he's like, well, I need to know where you're staying. I need an address. And I'm like, sir, I hit the table. Sir, I'm here to give, love, and educate from my people. I was chosen to come over here and teach and educate with my music instruments. And I said, I am so honored to be here in your country, and I will respect everything you want, but my papers are over there. And he said, sir, he says, you have a good day. And he let me go through. So because I was a little bit forceful, and he looked, and because I wasn't being mouthy. I just said, I want to give to your people. And he stamped my thing. I went over and I found some of my bags, and everybody was carting them. And there's like 35 million people in the one city I was in. That's like the population of Canada. So anyway, I get my bags, and I finally get my ride to where I'm going. And I get to the place where I'm staying. Now, in my culture, I'm going to tell you a legend after. I should have told you the legend before, but I'll tell you, when I got to the building that I was staying at, they gave me the rundown on where I was going to sleep and everything. And they showed me a little kitchen. You can make coffee and stuff. So as I went to bed and I woke up in the morning, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I could hear people praying out in the streets, and I just couldn't sleep. I was too buzzed up thinking about everything and how my day was going to unfold. So I actually called Kim on my phone. I said, Kim, you got to listen to this. It's amazing. I'm hearing this music in the streets and people praying. So I couldn't sleep. So I got up, and I went and put on some water, and I made some coffee, and I went outside. The sun was just coming up, and I was stretching, and I pulled my coffee cup, and I went to take a sip, and I looked up in the air, and there was like 16 eagles flying over my head. And I'm like, are you serious? Creator, you're here with me. The one that gave me my breath is here with me, and he's giving me a confirmation that I'm here for a reason. 16 eagles are giving me that confirmation, because when we look to the sky and we see eagles, we believe that that's a confirmation from Creator, from Sungwa Adiso, the Great Spirit. So I said thank you, and so my day started unfolding this way. My car ride was coming to pick me up with my instruments and take me to my first, the second day to take me to my first place to play and to teach. So I was being taken off to Lahore, to Pakistan, to the university to talk with the students there. So we're driving along and we went through all these checkpoints. They're checking under the car for bombs. And I mean, ISIS and Taliban, all these things are around there, you know, and there's a lot of things that, you know, that was around me. But I knew that the Creator is with me, and I had good people with me. I had people from the military escorting me there. So we get in past the razor wire and everything, and I get into this beautiful university, and a lot of beautiful people were there waiting for me and eagerly wanting to hear about Canada. So I get into the auditorium and I talked for a little bit, and then I opened the floor up to some questions. And this girl put her hand up. And I said, yes. And she said, I have to ask you, were you scared coming into my country? And I thought to myself, what a question to be asked right off the hop. Was it, am I scared? I was a little nervous. So I said, well, I was a little nervous for sure. I mean, I have a lot of very interesting instruments that I'm sure people would like to take, you know, and use, and maybe not come back with them, you know. So I said, I shouldn't be nervous and I shouldn't be worried, because I have you guys actually surrounded right now. This whole university is surrounded. I have very powerful beings in my families around me. And you could have heard a pin drop in that auditorium. And I said, you're probably wondering who I'm talking about, and you probably didn't see them around here when I first came in. I said, but let me reassure you, they're here. Would you like to meet them? I said. They said, absolutely. So I said, well, everybody's going to have to get up out of their seat and follow me outside. So one by one, everybody got up and out we go. And I said, is everybody out now? So the last person just walked out the door, and I said to everybody, I said, I want you all to look up and see that big ball of fire in the sky. I said, that's my eldest brother, the sun. I said, wow, he is here with us today. I didn't know you guys had the same brother. That means we're family, right? Because we have that same brother in the sky. I said, oh, wow, beyond that sun, I said, look at the sky itself. I said, we're under the same roof. I said, when we're under the same roof, we don't want to cause ruckus or hurt anybody. We want to keep each other safe and educated and have fun, because we're under that same roof. And I said, tonight when you guys walk outside, you're going to meet my other family members, the stars. Those are my young brothers and sisters. And tomorrow night when you walk outside, you're going to see this other ball in the evening. That's my grandmother, the moon. I said, and you guys have all the same family members I have. Where I come from, we try to get along. We try to love and respect. And I said, respect as you walk back in, because you're stepping on my mother. So as I was telling him all these things, I could see them really taking this all in. And we were actually doing a medicine wheel teaching. I was talking about the medicine wheel and the 4 directions and what the circles and everything mean. So I actually did a workshop where we built medicine wheels, and we hand carved them all there, and we put feathers on them and beads, and I told them what each color represented, and it was just a beautiful time. So yeah, Pakistan was amazing, and I was very well received there. And I did a lot of cultural teachings about the seeds and the water and all these things. We actually planted a garden when I was there. That's not part of what men do. It's up to the women to plant the gardens, and because they're the givers of life. And the men will be there to help. They go out and they hunt and bring back the food. So I discussed all these things there, and it was just beautiful.
Wow. What a story. Okay.
And it goes on and on and on. I just don't want to take too long on the one.
Oh, I could listen for a long time. Okay, so It's 10 after 2 right now.
Okay.
So should we take like a 5-minute break, a 10-minute break? What do you suggest?
Whatever you want to take.
Okay, so we've got until what, 3 o'clock?
Sure.
Okay, so how about let's take a 10-minute break.
Okay.
So we're going to go from 2, it's now 2:10. We're going
Okay.
to take a break from 2:10 to 2:20. We do this every day, to 2:20. I usually ask everybody to go outside and get a breath of fresh air, do a little nature break, and that will give you a chance. I will leave all of this on, but that will give you a chance to go from where you are now to your other cabin where the stone carvings are.
Okay. And I have some music gear set up here to show you guys a sample of a song that I do.
Oh, okay.
So I can actually do that when you come back. I'll show you how I build soundtracks for movies and documentaries, how I use my voice and make the sounds of animals and water and different things.
Oh, that'll be fabulous. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there's so much to talk about. Maybe we'll have to leave that for another time, but I have murals on the building to show you guys. We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that at another time. I can maybe show you on the way out to my gallery.
Perfect. Okay.
But I'm so excited to talk to you guys.
Oh, I am so excited too. Well, you and I met 6 years ago. You're the reason I teach this course.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yes,
awesome.
we met 6 years ago. I actually am aware. Oh, I bought feather earrings from you when you still had the little crow, but I'll tell you that story another time. Okay.
Okay.
All right, everybody take a break. We will all concentrate better if we take a break. I'm going to turn off my microphone. No,
okay.
I'll leave my microphone on. We're going to take a break. I'll be right back. We'll start again at 2:20.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Start again, yeah, at 2:20. So if you need to go to the washroom or anything, you do this now. Okay, so it's about 2:20 now, and I think that whenever you're ready to start, David, we can go.
Okay, I'm just going to grab another.
Take your time. We're all comfortable. You guys all
Awesome.
still there?
I got
We're all
so
at
much.
home.
Yes.
I got so many things.
We're all here. We're ready and excited.
Oh, good. Me too.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and if you still have more comments or more questions, you can put them in the chat line. I'm going to turn off my microphone now.
Okay, I'm away from my phone quite a bit, so I will if you have any more comments after, but what I'm going to do is play you a song right now and build a little soundtrack for you guys. So just sit back and enjoy, and I'll just do some talking, and then I'll open up the floor again to some more questions. Anyway, I'm going to put on another gift that was given to me by an elder in the Mi'kmaq territory. I guess the newcomers, the settlers, called them Micmacs, but their true name is called Mi'kmaq, and that's where Kim's from. And Kim has some Mi'kmaq blood in her too. And so I'm going to put this on. This was gifted to me. This was actually used in Afghanistan by a soldier, and it was taken right off his head, given to his uncle, and his uncle put it on my head. So this is what I use a lot when I perform, because I feel like I'm a soldier of love and medicine. So this instrument here, I'm going to lift it up and just show you here. This instrument is something that actually changed my life. It was such a beautiful sound. It looks like a wok. It looks like a something you do a barbecue in. But it was made in Switzerland. And this particular instrument is in a 528 hertz frequency, which is known to heal your heart. And the guy that gave it to me, actually, he died, and he was dead for 17 minutes. This gentleman lives in Toronto. His name is Donald Kwan. And he used to run a studio in a gallery called the Museum, and people would go there from all over the world and do performances and shows. And he had instruments from all over the world, and I love to associate myself with great people and people that can inspire me, and he definitely inspired me. And he asked one day if he loved what I was doing as a musician. He said, would you join me on stage for the Indigenous Music Awards? Back then it was called the Aboriginal Music Awards. And I said I would absolutely love to do that. So we bonded, we made beautiful friendship together. I played at his place several times, and this one particular day, I was at his house, and he had this instrument, and he told me all about it. He said, it's called a hang drum. He says, David, I had to write a letter to the people that make them in Switzerland. And he said that if you're fortunate enough that they choose you as a person that deserves to own one of their instruments, they call you and you have to fly to Switzerland to pick it up. They meet you at the foot of the mountain. They take you up on a journey up into the mountains, and they talk about this instrument and why it was made and why they use this there. And it's in a frequency to heal people. It's to help them, and to help them with getting together and bonding. So after telling me this story, I said, this is something you don't really want to ask somebody right off the hop when they have a brand new instrument, but could I borrow that instrument? And he goes, sure, Dave. He said, you can borrow it for sure. So he said, just be careful, don't drop it or dent it because it'll go out of tune. So I took it home with me, and I had it for, a few weeks. And then we had celebrated the music awards, and I had a bunch of people at my house, and we were hamming it up and having a great time. And I said to the girl beside me, I said, I have to go to bed now and get some sleep. I'm recording at CBC studio in the morning with Donald Kwan.
And she grabbed me and she says, David, you didn't hear the news. I said, what news? She said, Donald's had a heart attack. And we don't know the status right now. I don't know if he's pulled through or not. But he was playing at the Cops Coliseum in Hamilton with Derek Miller, another famous artist, and he was doing a solo on his keyboard and he fell over on stage. And it was just lucky for him. There was a doctor in the crowd, and they brought some stuff in. They did some work on him, and they got his heart back up and running, and then the ambulance came, took him. When I heard that he was moved to Kitchener, to the hospital, I said to the people, I said, I gotta go. And I packed up my instruments, up my drum and my flute and my medicines that I travel with. And I went to the place where he was. And when I got there, they said, absolutely nobody comes in unless you're family. This guy's Chinese. And I said, I'm his brother. and they didn't question that. They opened the door and in I go. And I was on a mission myself with the help of the Creator to go and be with my brother. So I went in and he was laying naked on ice, and there was hardly any life. I looked at the monitor and it was almost like it was flatlined. And I put my medicines around his body, and I took my hand drum and I started to sing with my language. And I put it right down to his chest and I started to play a heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. And I started to sing, and I didn't realize that the doctors and nurses were behind me witnessing all this. And I watched as the life started coming back into his body, and the monitor started moving and his heart started to beat. And I kept playing boom, boom. And I thought, if anything's going to bring him back, it's going to be the love of music, because this guy is so musical. And it did. It worked. And the prayers worked, and the prayers of my people praying for him. I asked them to pray with me as I go up there to help with his coming back to us. So he told me he came to get his drum. When he started getting better, he lost his speech and everything. He's just now starting to talk better. But he's got a pacemaker and all these things now. And when he found out I had his drum, somebody said, David Maracle has that special drum. So he came to pick up his drum. He had it for a short time, and he called me up. He says, David, I got some good news and some bad news for you. He said, what news do you want? And he says, forget it. I'm just going to give you the bad news. And he said, I dropped the drum and it's out of tune. He said, but the good news is I want to give it to you. I'm thinking to myself, well, that's not good news, but it is good news. He said, and the other good news is I called them up in Switzerland, and they said, if I ship it back, they'll retune the drum, and it only costs $800 to have it retuned, and they'll ship it back, and I want to give it to you. And I want you to take this. And he wrote on the drum case, he said, I want you to take this and play it to the world and heal their hearts. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to play you a little song, and hopefully you guys, whatever you're feeling or whatever, and I hope the sound goes right into this camera here and you feel it. Just close your eyes if you want. If you don't want, if you want to be nosy and see what I'm doing here, keep your eyes open, but just enjoy this. And bear with me, I'm just setting it up here a little bit. Can you hear that?
Yes, we can hear it.
this, what I'm gonna do next, I'm talking to you now. I'm not playing you a concert. I'm telling you how I do this when I actually travel off. So I have a looper pedal and I start playing all these different instruments and I build like a soundtrack. So these soundtracks can be used in documentaries or for news broadcasts. But here we go. Can you hear that, or should I turn it up?
Turn it up just a little bit.
Okay,
We can hear it. Yeah, it could be a little louder.
Okay, let me do something here. Is that better?
Yes.
There you have it.
Wow.
Wonderful.
I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Sir, that was
So
cold.
cool. Watching
Hey,
you
guys.
layer all those sounds. Oh my
Will
goodness.
someone
That's
sign him?
for more questions. Wow.
So I play. I chose instruments from around the world because it honors all the colors of mankind: the red, the yellow, the black, the white people. And I've taken their instruments and I combine them. So when I travel around the world, it allows me to have doors opened up in all the different cultures that people can relate to their instrument. And it shows how when we get together as a color, as a nation of people, when we come together as one, we gather our minds together. Our minds that come together to teach us, and we learn together as a human race. This is why I chose all these instruments, to show that when we come together with our music and our words and our understanding, we don't try to take from each other or rape the land or anything, but we try to respect and we walk gently upon Mother Earth and we learn from each other. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I can show you another instrument. If you have time, I'll play you another song and make you another little soundtrack. You want to hear another one?
Of course. Now we've only got 20 minutes left, but let's say yes.
Okay, let me just look up. I have a thumb piano. I'm just looking for. Where did I put that? Oh, here it is. So this one here comes from Africa. So I'll show you the quality of this one. There you go. Just some teasers for you.
Love it. Thank you. Woohoo! More applause.
It's cool how you did those noises with your mouth.
Was that the name, the kalimba, for the African instrument that you just performed?
You just named it.
Kalimba and bara, yeah.
Yes.
I love that instrument. I like it.
Yeah, me too. I
It's
actually
easy to use.
modified it a little bit because
Oh, really?
I put one of my drums on the bottom.
Aww.
I put a little hand drum on the bottom and made it
beautiful,
amplify a little bit better. So when I play it, it actually sounds like.
Wow. Beautiful. I like that one. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay, I'm going to pick this up now and do this. So now
we're sideways.
Huh? Oh, you're sideways.
You're sideways.
There you go.
There, now you're right side up. Okay. I'll turn off my microphone. Feel free to just talk.
Okay, let me show you something here. If I got to figure out how to turn my phone around. Oh, right there. So there's some albums up there.
That's a lot. How many?
Well, I have 12 here on the wall.
Wonderful.
And
I think I bought 2 of them the day I met you. So that
there's
was
the
6
gold
years ago.
album right there.
Wow.
Certified gold. I'm a stamp collector. I collect anything to do with native artifacts and things that will help inspire. But anyway, I am going to take you guys outside right now.
So many collections.
So if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat line, because all of this can be recorded on the chat line. Okay.
So I'm going to just show you quickly a few of the murals on the building before I take you into the gallery. So this one here shows Sky Woman. And this shows where all the plants and vegetables came from. That's another, we'll have to save that one maybe for another time. And it's a beautiful legend. And on the other side of the building, we have the Peacemaker. He came here. I don't have the heart to chop down any trees, so I kind of leave the trees around there, but I'm going to have to move them if people want to see the legend, or they're going to have to stay here sometime. It's hard to see it when it's when you're up close, but this is Hadui here in the tree, our turtle. The turtle represents our calendar. There's 13 designs on the back of the turtle representing the 13 months of the year before the Europeans came here. We followed the back of the turtle. The perimeter of the turtle, here I have the Riel turtle rattles that we use. That there's 28 designs on there representing the days of the month, the woman's cycle. There's Tadadarho. He was the last one that came aboard for the Guyarno.goa, the Great Law of Peace. And there's people making a pact here with the Peacemaker. There's the longhouses, and here's the Peacemaker himself coming through in a stone canoe to show that he had powers, and people needed to see a sign, so he floated in a stone canoe. This is my backyard here, guys.
Beautiful.
There's another art installation there. The all-seeing eye. It's in a teepee. My wife and I got married in that teepee when it used to be a very cool place that people would come, and I'd have a fire in there every day, and people would come and put medicine into the fire and pray, and
I had all walks of life, from Chinese and Black, and people prayed in their own language. They felt it a spiritual place. And this is known as the Peacemakers territory here where I live. And these waters are very sacred. We have women that come and pray over the waters. And they ask the Creator, and they actually, we are all water. As people, as the human race, we're made up of mainly water. And when you tell water you love it, it cleans itself, and it's been proven by scientists. This here is another mural. So I wanted to do the things that are very powerful in my life, and some of the top things that were taught to our kids. Unfortunately, some of those kids that were taken away to those schools never got the beauty of why we wanted our kids to know all of what we teach in this part of the world. And it's the culture that helps us in our life get through to our journeys that we want to do till our life ends, you know. And unfortunately, their lives ended a little too soon. But this is called the Three Sisters here, guys. And the Three Sisters, why they named them that is they assist one another in their growth. You have the corn over here, and you have the beans over there, and you have the squash. And the reason why the corn is because the corn grows tall, and it actually helps with the beans to be held up and to grow up with the corn. And the corn, because of the shape of the leaves, the funnel leaves that corn has on these leaves here, they're actually shaped, and they have like a crack down the middle. It would catch the dew in the morning, and it would drop the dew, the moisture to the ground, and the size of the squash leaves would shade the ground and keep the moisture in the ground. So they all work together. That's why they're called the Three Sisters. So other things to show you, we have my little gallery over here. Things don't have to be large. Things can be small, powerful, and mighty. And I wanted to have this to be able to teach and educate people. And welcome, guys, to my gallery you're going to go into right now. It's going to be housing all the work I can possibly make. Right now, I'm kind of out of work. I don't have too much. I've been selling a lot of work here. And I have a lot of collectors that appreciate our legends and stories. And now that it's documented in stone, it's even that much more sweet. Just another one of my albums there. Kimberly and myself and Buffy St. Marie. This is hard to see with the glare, but this here, right here, is a beadwork that somebody did for me. Her name is Maureen Grey Eyes. And I asked her, I said, would you be able to do me my logo in beadwork? And she said, absolutely, David. And this is what she did for me. I know it's really hard to see with the glare, but all beads. This is what I made when I was in Pakistan with the youth there. These are ancient medicine wheels with the feather. I want to talk to you guys about the feather. It's very important. So remind me, cut me off when we have that time. This is my grandkids rode in this. It's called a papoose. This is what holds our children. This is the one I rode in when I was little. That's my mom and I. That's me when I was a baby. So that would be strung on her back. And when I wasn't on her back, I was leaned up against a tree or just hung into a tree on a branch. And I'd be in the festivities, enjoying life with my parents around me. So I'm glad I wasn't taken away. I'm glad I had, hold on, I got to turn this Google off. Google, hey Google, stop playing. Technology. So anyway, this is stuff that those kids missed out on in their life, to be rode around in papooses close to their mommy, learning all these things that they needed in their life. That was the ones that, again, that my grandkids rode in. And this is all made of birch bark and moose hide, and that's all fine beadwork on there. This is some of the stuff our women wear in ceremonies when we go or socials to the longhouse. We use everything from hawk, eagle, goose, feathers. These are hawk here. This is a rattle we use in our sweat lodges. It's a medicine rattle. It's got flint in there, so when we're in the dark at night and we shake this, it sparks and you can see it through the skin. You can see the light. It lights up when the flint touches each other. This is sacred tobacco we use when we ask elders for things, and when we go off and we pick medicine, we put down a little bit of this tobacco to give thanks. This is a doll that was made of me. Somebody said that I wanted to make you something, and we take all the corn, and to differentiate us and our people and what Creator allowed us to have, He gave us that corn, and the corn, to show that it was our corn, He only made 8 rows of this white corn, and it never spoils. I have corn that was used at Valley Forge when George Washington came across and they were starving. Our people fed George Washington, and I have the same corn that came from that valley. What else do I have here? That's another one of our haduis that's carved out of a piece of moose antler.
Beautiful. Now we only have 10 minutes left.
And this
with our last
this is one of
10
my
minutes,
carvings right here. So this is Grandmother Moon, and I carved this out of marble. In the back, I put the eagle. The eagle's protecting her, the messenger bird. So it's woven into her hair. So I love to actually add a lot of things and move it, and always flowing. Sorry. There's a spirit here. The man went on there. This is all carved out of one stone. The elder, he's going off into the spirit world. That's another piece of stone. Some young people brought in some beadwork. Hey, Dave, can you sell our beadwork in here? He says, oh, sure. I said, bring it on in. So the kids are now starting to show up with their stuff here, so I'm pretty happy. That's a war bonnet. That's actually was worn by Father. That's my traditional headpiece that I wear. I wore that a lot, but he loved this one too, so he wore that, and he was gifted a lot of different things from the Sioux and the Apache. And there's my dad right there. That was painted by a very famous painter. There's a art right there that's was made by an old Cree woman, and she used her teeth to make that. It's called birch bark biting. So all these things I'm sharing with you is things that those kids could have had if they had stayed home on their territory, learned from their elders and their parents and their aunties and uncles. There's snow snake up there. Snow snake is a game that they're like javelins, and we hand these and we drag logs through the snow, and we make these troughs. And the record shot for one of these to be thrown by one person is just under 1.5 miles along the snow.
Oh my goodness, 1.5 miles?
1.5 miles, and people were so impressed with the snow that Tim Hortons and Donald sponsored me to play on the Riel Canal in Ottawa, and I was in National Geographic centerfold shooting one of the snakes down the trough. There's our longbow system right there. That show all the Cayuga, the Tuscarora, the Oneida, all coming together, and we start one Goa. And everybody has duties. On my territory, it's bear and wolf. I am of the Bear Clan. We have clan mothers watch over our people and watch over us names, and they actually direct our young people into becoming leaders, chiefs, elders, and responsible people in our community. Sorry, I don't have a whole lot of art in here to show you at the time, but it is what it is, guys. Let me turn you back around here.
Well, we can look at your art. We can look at your stone carvings online. Now, Kimberly.
Oh yes.
Kimberly just messaged me wondering if we were still online, and you've just about run out of time. Class goes until 10 after 3. So we need to wrap this up. And I know that Ziv wanted to do the official thank you. Ziv, are you ready to do the thank you? Ziv, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I'll put it on the screen so you can read it out. Okay, so here it is. And we know that the thank you is on the screen. We practiced this. Go ahead, Ziv. You can read it for us. It's in blue. Can you see it?
Yeah. Okay. On behalf of St. John of Arc Academy community, we would like to thank you very much, David and Kimberly Maracle, for your time to give us knowledge today. We look forward to writing to you with our questions. We hope to continue this project within the TCDSB community in the years to come. Miigwetch.
Oh, now we'll go, Siv. I
Miigwetch,
appreciate that, and it was an honor and a pleasure to be with you guys today. I hope good words were spoken all around, and it all goes to our hearts. Ganorunko, I give you guys love medicine, and walk strong, tall, and proud, and practice your culture. And you know, it's beautiful to have a culture and to hold on to the beauty that our ancestors left us.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
So
my pleasure. I can't wait till class can come down on a field trip.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Well, I'm going to be there on a field trip for sure. And the other field trip I would like to do when this COVID thing is over, I'm supporting the Save the Evidence at the Mohawk residential school, you know, the brick by brick one.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's another trip that I'd like. I know that's in the other direction, but both places. So as a follow-up now, we talked about this. My students are going to write you some letters, and I'm really hoping that you'll be able to write them back. Should we email them to you in one attachment? How do you think we should do this?
Yeah, I think you could do that. That'd be really cool, and we'll just address them. Kim and I will sit down and we'll just take an evening and address them back. And yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so I'll put them in one document together. And do we need to touch base again in like 2 weeks or something, even just for a short meeting, or do you think we should leave it as is and come back to this next year? What do you suggest?
I'm going to leave it with you to have that discussion with the class to see what they want.
That's very generous. Thank you.
Forceful guy. I like the feedback, and if people want more, then we'll discuss that, because there's so much beauty I could touch on that would just like there's just, man, I wanted to talk about the eagle feather with you guys, but we'll save that for another time.
Or maybe you could, how long would it take? We've got like until 10 after 3. Would it be too much now, or should we save it?
You know what? I think it's worth it to just discuss this eagle feather for a second.
Yes.
Because I want to leave you guys with something very powerful. So I'm going to tell you a quick legend. You want to hear one legend? I never got to tell you any legends.
Good.
Of course.
So a long time ago. Hello?
Oh, hi, sir.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, we're cutting in and out. Let's try it again.
Oh, let me actually let me go back over closer to where there's some Wi-Fi. Sorry.
Perfect. And I notice that you have a Mohawk warrior flag on the ceiling. I have so many questions, but we're all going to get to write you a letter.
So I'm going to sit right outside here for a minute, and I am going to tell you one legend, how the birds got their song. So how this happened was the creator looked at all the birds one day and he went, man, you guys are just such beautiful creatures, and you have such beautiful color, and I think I did a really good job on you, but I forgot to give you a voice. I forgot to give you all a voice. So he said, you know what? He said, you meet me at this council rock in the valley. Everybody knew where the council rock was in the valley. So they all showed up there. He said, I want you to come though before the sun comes up. I want you to come just before the sun comes up, and I'll instruct you on how you're going to get your song. So they all showed up, and there was like big ones and little ones and fat ones and skinny ones, and they're all kind of looking each other over. They could actually see that there was they could see through the silhouettes of each other, the bigger ones standing beside the little ones. And all of a sudden this little one, he was looking around, he could see there was nobody looking, and the creator, before he did this, the creator said, I want you all to fly up towards the heavens, and the one that flies the closest to the spirit world will get the greatest song of all the birds. So this little one was looking around, and he could see there was nobody looking. So up on the back of the eagle, he flew, or he jumped, and he nestled into the back in the feathers of the eagle. And the sun peeked up over the hills, and the birds took off towards the heavens, and each one would fly to their capacity. And they would turn and they'd pick up their song. Well, now most of the day was going by, and some of the big birds of prey were the last ones left in the sky. And the eagle's looking around. He could see each one turning and picking up their song. And the eagle thought to himself, I'm going to get the greatest song of all the birds, so I'm going to continue on. I still have a little bit of power in my wings. So up he goes, and up, 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 up. And finally, he started to run out of steam. And so just as he started to turn and took his last flap of his wings, he was turning like that, and the little bird that was on board, he flew out, and the eagle turned. He felt something, and they both connected eyes. And the little one flew up, and he hovered, and he stayed there, and he waited till the eagle flew back, and he was out of sight. And he came back so fast, and he flew out of sight. And this is where he flew to, is the bulrushes. And the elders tell us that this is why we hear the best song of all the birds comes from the bulrushes. But he has to hide the rest of his life because he cheated to get his song. And the creator witnessed what had happened, and he let all this unfold so it would be a lesson to all of us and to our young people growing up. And he said, I watched this whole thing unfold, and I know this is going to be a good lesson to people. He said, and to you, Eagle, he said, I witnessed that you wanted to be the best you could be in your life, and you tried hard, and you put effort into what you wanted in life, and you tried and you struggled, and you wanted to be the best. He said, so I know you didn't pick up a good song. You picked up because you were a little bit angry, but you picked up a squawk. But he said, I'm going to make you my messenger bird. He said, you're going to take the prayers of the people, and people are going to recognize you from far and wide. This is why we use them in ceremony. We adorn our outfits with eagle feathers. We use eagle feathers as talking feathers when it goes into ceremony. Nobody will talk when they're holding the eagle feather. And even the United States thought it was so powerful that we use this symbol of the eagle on top of our tree that would sit up there and would perch and watch of any evil approaching, or warn us of evil approaching, warn us of people coming that needs help. We would always let the eagle dictate those things to us. And the U.S. took that symbol of our eagle with those 6 arrows, because when the peacemaker came, he took an arrow and he busted it and he threw it. He said, that's one nation. When he put the 6 arrows together and he tried to break it over his knee, they wouldn't break. And he said, that's when we all come together as one, as a people. So the eagle and the story of the eagle and how the birds got their song was something that was very enlightening to me when I was growing up. And my dad told me that story, and I'm sure his dad told him that story. So this is how our legends get passed down, how we use these things in life to move forward. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Niao Goa and Ganorungwa to all you guys.
Thank you so much, David Maracle. We really
You are so welcome.
I so look forward to continuing this project, whether it's this year or next year or maybe for years to come. I'll record tomorrow's class so you can see people's reactions, but they're going to work on journals and letters to do a follow-up.
Okay. Awesome.
And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because I have 2 minutes left. So I'm just going to put a date out there that perhaps, maybe, like today's the 1st, like 2 weeks from today would be the 14th. Maybe we could touch base on the 14th. I don't know if that works for you and Kimberly.
Okay, if you just send Kim a text and we'll go
Okay.
from that. I just got it. Kim does all my bookings and
I know she
online
does.
content.
Well, she's your manager. Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow night's the Juno, so you guys will have to watch that. I have a very special recording I did at a very prestigious studio here in Belleville. And
Wow.
I'm doing the opening and the closing, honoring all the players that are coming on board for the Junos this year.
Oh, I'm so glad you told us. Okay, what time do they start tomorrow night?
Go on the website, or I'll get Kim to actually send it to you, but you can see it. My name is up there on there, and I'm doing the Indigenous section of the Junos. So we're like 5 days ahead of the other Junos. So we're involved with all the Indigenous people that are being nominated. So I'm congratulating them with music and words. And I have one of my very exciting carvings, so you guys will have to tune in if you want to see that. It's a stone that I carved with a buffalo skull, and I have horsetail, I have hawk feathers, I have ribs of a deer, ribs of moose, I have bear fur. So there's so much to see on there, and we have red dresses hanging on stage honoring the murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls.
Wonderful.
And we have smoke and lights, and it's beautiful, guys. Please tune in and watch it with your parents.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm at a loss for words. I'm going to let all of you guys can turn your microphones on now and say goodbye. And you guys are dismissed. You can say goodbye before you leave, okay? Goodbye, David.
Bye.
Bye.
It was an honor and a pleasure, guys, to be with you today.
Oh, right back at you.
Thank you.
An honor.
It was an honor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love food, so maybe one day we'll see ourselves having dinner somewhere where we can all share our cultural foods together. I do a lot of cooking, so all these things are the beauty. You guys keep the beauty in your hearts of culture and what it means, really understand what that means and use that in your life, because it's going to help you guys in your walk for sure, to know who you are and where you came from.
Yes, culture.
I love all you guys. I love all you guys.
We love you too. Yes, respect right back at you. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna turn this off now, and hopefully we will see you again in 2 weeks, and we will write letters.
Onagiwahi till we see you again. Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, guys, that went really, really well. Okay, so I'll stop presenting. All right, so it's 3:11. We stayed right on time. Does anybody have any questions before we go?
I do. So,
what's your question?
Are you gonna post the recording on Google Classroom?
Yes, I am. It takes a little while to process it. So yes, I'm still recording. I haven't turned off the recording yet, but I will be able to post both. I've been practicing this. So I will post the recording, and I will post what's in the chat line. And I'm wearing my t-shirt that says "Every Child Matters," which we know is Orange Shirt Day. So yeah, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm not giving you any extra homework tonight. You have your ISUs to work on. We'll deal with all of this tomorrow.
All right, bye, Miss.
All right, Miss. Thank you.
I was really proud of you guys today.
Bye, Miss.
Really proud of you.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Miss. We love you. Bye.
Bye, Miss.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss, for that experience.
Oh, Tawit, you're very welcome. Thank you for being you.
Thank you, Miss. Have a fantastic day.
You too. Can you see why I'm such a big fan? Now we're going to see him on the Junos tomorrow. I didn't even know. Okay, so bye-bye.
It was so peaceful.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't know all that stuff he said about the heart. We needed that. Okay. Massey, did you have a question? Christian, did you have a question? Anybody still have a question? Okay, so I'll turn this off. So Massey does not have a question. And Christian, no questions. To wit, was there anything else you wanted to say? He talked about ego. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
See you,
Bye-bye.
miss.
Okay, so the Junos tomorrow night. I'm going to stop recording now.